morning, old friends. Welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we're gardening here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. Today I'm going to be going out into the garden to try to gather some materials with which I can make some garden-related Christmas ornaments. So come with me and let's see what we can find. I've got my cutters and a basket to put things in, and we're going to kind of go on a little excursion out to the corner garden because I think there's some stuff out there that we'll be able to use. We haven't been out in this garden very much this season. I've shown it to you a couple of times, but it's pretty much a hot mess. All these zinnias are volunteers. I didn't plant any of them, but they all came back from last year, so they clearly need to be taken out, but I do anticipate we'll be getting more volunteers next year because, again, the seeds will have fallen down into the soil and growing there. We got liatris stalks there that need to be cut back. I do have some plain the blue salvia here that got a slow start, but they did finally bloom for me there. Look at that. We still have zinnias still pushing out blossoms. Isn't that amazing? Today's November 18th, and the high temperature today in Baltimore is supposed to be 72. That's nuts. Anyway, so just a quick overview of this garden. Oh my, look at the maple trees. Whoo! This one over here is a volunteer sapling, and we just let it go because I think it's going to end up replacing whatever that tall, gangly looking tree is there. It'll have to come down sometime. And then this one here probably is a volunteer as well. And again, the taller ones around it, sorry about the car. The taller trees around this maple probably will end up coming down over the coming years, and the maple will replace them. So the maple foliage is gorgeous and has been for the last couple of weeks. The ones down on the side of the property have mostly fallen, but these two here, they stay the warmest during the day because of their location compared to the sun, and so they're the latest to lose their leaves. So pretty. Anyway, back to the garden. What I'm hoping to pull out today is some of these lamb's ear leaves. We're going to use these for a project. So I'm going to just cut off some leaves here. I'm looking for leaves that don't have any blemishes on them at all. I want them to be nice, clean, untarnished leaves. So like I'll leave this one here because something has eaten on it, but I'll take this one. And so on. I'm going to gather a whole lot, probably try to fill up this basket. You know what? I forgot to bring my tripod out here, and I'm trying to do this handheld. I'm just going to gather up a bunch of these. You get the gist. All right, I filled my basket with small, medium, and large. So let's go make this into a Christmas ornament for our tree. And while we're walking from the front yard to the backyard, I thought I'd give you a show and tell update about our no-dig beds that we're creating over here on the side yard. Let me turn the camera around for you. Over here where we planted these skip laurels, we've put about 3 layers of shredded leaves on here already, and a little bit of green material, but not a whole lot yet. And same thing back here by these viburnum. I think the viburnum have gotten 1 layer of shredded leaves so far, and in this middle section there's 2 layers, and in this section right here I think there's 3 layers of shredded leaves so far. I still haven't covered up this grass along this edge, and our mail carrier is still walking between here around this pile of leaves. So I still need to get cardboard down on this so that we can get that section of it underway. But then over here, I think this section has received 5 or 6 layers of both green material and shredded leaves. And it's continuing to break down and get flatter and flatter, and it's coming along. So I think that this method of creating these flower beds is going to be really successful. I have been watering every time we put new materials on each of the piles, just so that it doesn't blow away mostly, but also to get it jump started onto the decomposition process. So yeah, that's what's happening. All right, next I need to jump into the middle of this pile and find some old Christmas ball ornaments that are I don't use anymore, or that are tarnished or something. So let me see what I can find. I think no person in their right mind should have this many Christmas decorations, except when you love Christmas the way I love Christmas. This is what you get after being married 35 years and collecting Christmas decorations. All right, I'm looking for old, tarnished, bad ornaments. And these are not going to be them because these are my good ornaments. So let me do some hunting. I have found some old ornaments. They're not terrible looking, but the color on them has started to come off of the bulbs and they're starting to look a little worse for the wear. So these are what I'm going to use as the base of my ornaments. I've got my project materials all laid out here. This is really easy. You need some lamb's ear leaves, which are all different sizes. You need some sort of ball. You can use styrofoam. You can use, I'm using old Christmas ornaments that I'm going to cover up. Something that is ball shaped. And then you need just something to hang the ornaments with. I'm going to use this garden twine, but you could use ribbon or strings of beads or wire or anything you want. I'm going to be using this twine, something to cut the twine with, and then just a hot glue gun and extra glue sticks. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is lay out my leaves and sort them by size. I'm going to lay out my leaves and sort them by size so I know what I'm dealing with. And I've got some sort of gluey gunk down in the bottom of that basket. That's a shame. All right, well, move that aside. Okay, sort these by size. Okay, so I have my leaves sorted into small, medium, large, and I'm calling extra large. And you don't have to sort them this particularly, but I think that this will help me when I'm choosing which leaves to put on which ornament. So if you have really large spheres to put your leaves on, you're going to want more of these larger size leaves. If your spheres are smaller, like these are, then you're going to want more of the small ones. And I'm planning to mix and match today just so I can use up all of the different leaves that I have. So I'm choosing to use these old ornaments because you might be able to see that the tops of them are starting to lose their gold shiny coloration around the tops. And while this is a nice vintage look, this is not the look that I'm going for in my home this year. So I'm going to go ahead and repurpose these old ornaments by turning them into a garden themed ornament. All right, so what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to test for size. Yeah, okay. So these extra large size ones are just the right length to go from the top of the ornament down around to the bottom of the ornament. So I'm going to first trim off the stems because they'll just get in the way and make things bulky. So we're just going to take some hot glue and we're going to run it around the edge of the back of the leaf and then along the stem as well. And then we're going to carefully place the leaf onto the ornament. Don't burn yourself. And then wrap it down around and just firm it down there. Ooh, got myself. Firm it on there. And there you go. So that's the start. And now we're just going to continue gluing leaves all around, overlapping them until the ball is covered. Okay, I made some mistakes here. It's all okay. Ooh, that was hot. Because this is going to get covered up with another layer in just a minute. I have a little bit of area where the gold is showing through, but that's again okay because we're going to be layering some more leaves on top in just a minute. I'm just trying not to get my fingers burned, so that's why I'm trying a couple of different methods for laying this on there. Alright, so I have covered the whole ball with the first layer, and now I'm going to layer some others on top, and it'll end up being sort of like this. First, I need to trim off the excess. So I think I'm going to use these medium-sized ones to make a second layer, and they'll go around and just kind of make, you know, just another layer of interest. I could have gone in with the longer ones and then done, you know, a layer that ends here and a layer that ends here and a layer that ends here and have 4 layers if I want. But I think I'm going to conserve my leaves and only do 2 layers, and that way I can do more balls. I'm sort of aiming to cover the seam from the other layer, so I'm going to try to cover these seams. It may not work out that way totally though. We'll just kind of play it by ear and go with the flow. Now, you may want to use low temp glue. I don't have a low temp glue gun. I suppose I could go get one pretty cheaply, couldn't I, at the dollar store? But anyway, I don't happen to have a low temp glue gun on me, so I'm using a high temp glue gun. But if you don't like getting your fingers burned, you might go low temp. This is the one where I had some gold showing, and so I'm going to be sure to cover that seam with my last leaf here. And there we go. So, this is a lamb's ear covered ornament, garden related, garden themed. Now, I don't like the way this gold cap is showing through, so I'm going to cover that with twine. I'm going to run a bead of hot glue around here. And I'm going to cover that with twine. I'm going to leave a tail because I want to make a bow in a little bit. I'm just going to wrap this around several times and try to fully cover all that gold. I probably won't be able to get it all covered, but I'll do my best. There we go, and now I'm going to leave a tail here and make a little bow. Okay, so that's one. Now I'm going to do a smaller one also. These are foam balls that I bought at the craft store a couple of years ago for a different project that I never got done. And so they've been sitting in my craft room for a really long time. And so this is the year they're going to get used. Alright, so I think on this one I'm going to use... Nope, see, that's even too big. So I think on this one I'm going to be using the medium and the small ones. Now because there's no hanger on this, I just have to choose a top and a bottom, so. And then just be consistent. Alright, now I have a really large space at the top where I need to still cover. But that's okay because I still have my smaller ones to do my second layer. Alright, So now I know where my hanger is, so now I'll be able to put my last layer of leaves on. And I'm going to use the smallest ones I can find. I'm going to try something with these little ones. I'm just going to put the glue on the center and at the top. And I'm going to see if that will give a different kind of a dimensional look to how they lay on there. There we go. That turned out really cute, I think. I'm just going to put the bow on. Oh, I love it. And I like having two different sizes of them too. I want to thank Danielle from North Lawn Flower Farm for her video that she made last year where she showed how she made these lamb's ear ornaments. I'm basically exactly copying what she did, and I'm grateful to her for having shown that craft. And if you haven't yet, you might want to go look at North Lawn Flower Farm and subscribe and follow her channel. She has beautiful, beautiful gardens every year and lots of inspiration for all of us to follow. So I think I'm just going to use up my leaves and make as many of these balls as I can. Well, I was able to make 4 small and 4 large of these lamb's ear ornaments, and I think they turned out so great. I really encourage you to get out in your garden, grab some leaves off of a plant that you think might dry nicely, and do this craft because it will bring your garden inside into your home for the holiday season. Thank you again to Danielle from North Lawn Flower Farm for this wonderful idea, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and go over to her channel and subscribe. She's got great stuff for all of us to be inspired by. And that brings me to the end of today's video. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them down in the comment section down below. Let me hear from you. What are you doing that you can bring in from your garden into your home this holiday season? How are you making your home more beautiful because of what you did outside this year? Let us all know in the comments down below. Maybe share ideas with each other so we can all benefit. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you had a wonderful day today, and I will see you again in another video very soon. Bye!